Hello everybody, and good morning. It is Friday, December 5th. I want to make more YouTube videos. I'm not going to do like Vlogmas, but I do want to do more just random videos before the end of the year and hopefully continue that into the new year because I just haven't been producing enough content and I really want to do something more with this channel and revive it. Like, I'm not getting the views I used to. My audience isn't here anymore. So I just want to do something, to try to revitalize this and just share my thoughts and create more content and grow my skills and learn and all the stuff that comes with just creating more content. So just cooking up an egg this morning. Usually I do 2 with my tea, but I still have some leftover muffins my mom had made a while back that I've had in the freezer, so I took one of those out. So banana, muffin, an egg, and some tea is how I will be starting my day. Today, like all weekdays, is a work from home day. I have a work from home job, so I'm in my apartment like most of the time, which is good and bad. I don't have to commute or any of that, but sometimes I do miss a lot of like that human interaction, that social interaction, and, getting out every day. But I've been working remote for almost 4 years now, so I'm used to it at this point. Just about done with my work day. Only like 20 minutes left, but it is sunset right now. So I wanted to come up to the rooftop to catch the sunset and the clear skies. It's a little blown out behind me because I wanted to make sure I was exposed. But we're going to have such a rainy, gross week where we're probably not going to see the sun for a while. So I wanted to make sure I came out and at least took advantage of this beautiful sunset. The orange and pink in the sky. It's really pretty. Versus if you look this way, you can see all the clouds. And the winds are pretty strong up there. Not here, but you can see like the flag. I'll zoom in on that. The flags are just whipping around up on the taller buildings, and the clouds are moving really, really quickly across the sky. And just it's so dark this way with all those storm clouds. So it's kind of cool having this opening here downtown right now. Hello everybody, it is the next day, Saturday. Work from home days aren't that interesting. I may do more for like a video, but this is just going to turn into like a weekend in my life in Seattle sort of vlog instead. But seeing the sunset last night was great. Only thing I've done this morning is I went grocery shopping, went to QFC, so literally just got back and I've got like all kinds of stuff I just picked up. Usually I'll walk over because it's just been nice usually when I'm exploring on the weekends, and I'll just buy like a few essentials, But this time around, because I was picking up so much stuff, I drove my car, and I don't know if anyone else is like this or if it's just me, but I have a little bit of anxiety and stress out about stupid stuff, because I've never parked there before. You have to pay to park. How does that work? You have to pay the credit card and the thing. Do you get free parking because you're a customer? What's the time limit? I had read online you have to register your plate. I'm like, well, what's that look like? Where's the machines? Those thoughts just go through my mind. And then, if I'm buying groceries, is there a way to go from the grocery store to the car? Stupid stuff like that. Of course there is, but I'm like, maybe there isn't. So I stress myself out thinking about all these things that could possibly happen. And it's just the grocery store. Of course they're making it easy to park and shop, and that's exactly what I did. And I was there for 45 minutes and it was fine. Well, mostly fine. I had some paper bags. I have reusable bags. I forgot them in the car, so I was like, well, I guess I'll just used the paper bags, and then put the cart away when I was done shopping, picked the bags up, and they ripped, and my stuff spilled onto the floor in one of the bags. And I was like, great, how am I going to get these where I parked my car? And so then I like just threw everything in the cart, and the security guard was there. I'm like, would you mind like watching this? I'm like, I have reusable bags that I forgot, and I can just bring them back and bag it up. And then the person who actually bagged up my groceries was like coming through with some carts, and she's like, I knew that was probably going to happen, because she had asked me like if I was walking or if I drove, you know, because they seemed a little flimsy. And I was like, oh, I drove, you know, so it's fine. And she's like, I knew there were going to be a problem. And then she was like, where did you park? You know, and I told her, and she's like, oh, you can actually, like, I didn't realize you could take your carts up there, and that they had a cart thing up there. I should have just paid more attention. But she's like, oh, you can just go in the elevator. And I was like, oh, well, that makes it easier. I didn't even have to deal with any of this. So that was the most excitement I had while grocery shopping. Oh, one egg is leaking. Oh, no. Just one. I ended up just going for a walk. It's no longer sunny, but it was when I started walking. I didn't have a destination in mind. I just kind of walked, and then I was like, oh, this way looks cool. And then I turned down another street, and I have ended up by the Space Needle. That part was planned once I was already heading this way. I was like, oh, I'm only a few blocks, so I'll just make it all the way. But I was just out walking around and exploring some areas of the city I haven't walked yet. I'm not gonna like hang out here. I'm just kind of doing the loop, and then I'm gonna walk back through the hill. So it's just where I ended up. I've never been here before, but this is Amazon's headquarters, and these are the spheres that are out front. It's kind of pretty and cool. Amazon's like horrible, but you know. Sorry, the roads are kind of busy. Yeah, this is Amazon. Kind of a nice spot to stop and do videos. It's relatively quiet as you walk in. Yeah, there's the spheres. Got the Amazon buildings on it. It's like all sides. I walked by, but I've never like been in these little pathways here before. So it's interesting. So there, I went out, I explored a little bit, did some phone vlogging. Oh, and there's the banana. You get bananas at the Airstream. If you've heard about that, I have. It's a very interesting area. So was there a point to this video? Yes. I want to create more content, and I feel like lately, the past few years, I've only made videos if I'm like, oh, I'm doing something really cool, and I want to showcase it. I haven't been like a really good vlogger in the last few years. And I used to vlog about all kinds of stuff, and I just stopped. I think, you know, even though I don't do it for the views, not getting the views I used to definitely was part of why I stopped posting as much, because if it's not performing well, then why do I keep, you know, wasting my time on uploading stuff? But it's not the point of why I've been making videos. You know, at first it was definitely. Like when my brother and I first started the channel, we definitely were like, you know, we want to be popular YouTubers or whatever. But that's not the case anymore. I really want to use it more as just almost like a diary entry, a look at my life. You know, just keep creating and developing my filmmaking skills, the skills, you know, with the comfort of just talking to the camera. You know, just working on all of that stuff, documenting my life so that I have it, because I go back and rewatch old videos, and I love having that. Or there's many times where I'll be talking to a friend or something, and it's like, I'll mention something, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have that like in an old video, and I can just like pull up the clip, you know, that I'm looking for, and it's amazing to have that available, just to see all those memories. So that's the real reason that I'm going to keep going on this channel, even though it's very dead. It's just for me. So I'm just going to keep this video as what it is. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these random, moments from the past 2 days, this week, first weekend of December.